Well, we got a chance to catch up with journalist and Hawaii Island resident Naka Nathaniel yesterday after sunrise.
Thank you very much. Naka Nathaniel is an award-winning writer and reporter and has often contributed in telling us the stories of our islands and issues that are affecting us in this day and age. Ron, how are you doing?
It's awesome to see you, man.
Good to see you, too.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
You know, the Native Hawaiian, Council of Native Hawaiian Advancement had their convention in Kona just this past month. And there was an amazing presentation that was done by Matt Jakowski, who's a big number cruncher. And he threw out all these amazing statistics about what it means to be a Native Hawaiian in Hawaii.
Wow.
And one of the things he pointed out was that there's a huge wage gap. For every dollar that a non-Native Hawaiian makes, a Native Hawaiian only makes 84 cents here in Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. And so you have this issue of like the wage gap, and then he threw up another slide saying, you know, the graduation rates, high school graduation rates for Native Hawaiians has not budged in 50 years. So you have the wage gap, you have this education gap, and what does that mean? It means people are leaving Hawaii.
So they're trying to make more money someplace else, and then they're trying to make their way. They're growing older, they're having families, so to speak, right?
Yeah, and he threw up another number that was in there. So there's roughly about 1/3 Native Hawaiians living in Hawaii. And one of the numbers he threw out there was that of that number, that only 9% were born outside of Hawaii.
Only 9% were born outside of Hawaii?
Yeah.
Everybody else is here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. I fall into that category.
And you and I both fall into this category. And this is an amazing number, is that once you leave Hawaii, if you're a Native Hawaiian born outside of Hawaii, it is so hard to move back to Hawaii.
Seeing all of these numbers and seeing all this come out, does it seem like there might be chances where we could turn it around, or it just seems that that's the way it's going to be?
I think the initial thing is knowing what those numbers are. Like when you hear those numbers, like I was startled, you know, when I heard that stat about the wages, stat about the education level, and then the stat about, you know, where people were born. I think having that knowledge is a good starting point for us trying to figure out what solutions could possibly be.
Well, and not only that, but also as parents are, you know, raising their kids, we've got to get them to realize that they really got to stay on them so that way they get better grades, better graduation rates, and hopefully better pay.
Right, right.
An easier time, right?
Yeah, because that's one of the things that we see is that, you know, this is another number that Matt had put out there, was that there are so many houses in Hawaii that are considered to be crowded. That means that many generational families, which is wonderful. Yeah, I love, you know, when you get the mix of the generations in there. But the problem is, of course, is that, you know, people need a little bit of space, and there's just isn't the affordable housing that exists.
All right, Naka Nathaniel, once again, talking story. We'll continue to kuka
Exactly.
with Naka as we go. You're watching Sunrise on Hawaii News Now.